Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for you, all people. You know, if you've listened to me, and a few hundred of you have, I speak to you constantly about a better life. I advise you that every system of government on the face of the earth, wherever it is, it's in opposition to God's government. What I'm actually saying, it's in opposition to your life. It is in opposition to the life that satisfies you everywhere. And so I basically said that the governments of the earth represented hell. That we as people, human beings on earth, just like we heard about Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, we human beings on earth today are in hell. Are in hell. Now, this hell is like a house. You heard somebody say, in heaven, God has mansions. Well, this earth is like a house. And they represent different rooms, various rooms. And rooms can house a government. And in some of these governments, you got socialists, you got communists, you got all of their variations of government that exist in various rooms. And they all got systems set up with what they have, their guidance, their truths, and they operate them. And they operate them to the degree that it does not represent God. What does that mean? That means that everywhere on earth they got pain, they got suffering, they got people abusing one another, they got hatred and racism, all these kinds of things. They're not just unique to here, they are everywhere. Okay, so what I've been trying to say to you, and I want you to understand, is that my purpose here is to see if I could wake you up, because as I said, we are all evil. We didn't make ourselves evil. We were introduced to evil. We grew up around evil. We saw evil every day. We don't know what's right. We don't know what's wrong. We know what people have said is right. We know what people have said is wrong. We know what hurts, and we know what does not hurt. We know which we choose, the one that doesn't hurt. And so I say to we as people, what is it that we choose? What is it as a living entity on this earth? What is it that makes us feel complete? Satisfied life, meaning a whole bunch of stuff, ladies and gentlemen. This is the stuff that we do not get. First of all, let me tell you something. There's some things that's going on, because I was about to get away into some deep stuff, so I want to get back to my issue. Ooh! What happens if the Supreme Court justifies everything that Donald Trump has done? All the rules that he has broken. What if the court says Trump can run for president again? He runs and he wins. What do the people do who saw his evils, who heard them and reject them? What are they to do? What are you to do? What are you supposed to do? Or are you supposed to wait until the next election? Well, if you think like this, you represent people who have sold God out. Let me say that. If you think like this, you represent people that have sold God out. Now, there's a little gentleman in the House of Representatives in the United States by the name of Mike Johnson. They say that he's the speaker. But now, people are upset because the Ukrainians need American help, and one part of America wants to help him, and another part doesn't. And Mike Johnson happens to be on that side of those that do not want to help the Ukrainians. Now, let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, from a perspective of spokesman and advocate, I want you to know how I see America. I see today, I don't know about years. I'm not going to go back years so fast. I'm going to talk about it today. The Republican Party represents pure hell. They got the voice of Donald Trump, who seems to be an agent for Satan. He doesn't give a stink about anybody but himself, but he got a lot of people tricked. He got a lot of people tricked thinking that he cares about them, and they care about him because they are just like him. So these are the people that call themselves conservatives. They think that their way of life is the better way than anyone else, and they want to hold people to that. Conservative means somebody that they can have and others don't is okay, you know, whatever you have to do to make it accommodating. So, you know, so we call that, I would refer to that as, especially since Trump is over there, especially since they talk about killing folks, especially since they do kill, especially since they represent guns, especially since they represent hatred and racism and bigotry and all that stuff, I just call them pure demons from hell. The Republican Party. Now, let me say this. There are some nice people in the Republican Party, but it doesn't make any difference how nice you are. We are still evil. But I just want to say, because some people out there want them to think and want everybody to think that they're wonderful people. And to what they think wonderful is, they are wonderful. But the Republican Party represents those that's trying to take you straight to hell, and Donald Trump leading. Donald Trump leading. He's the one that's supposed to be the second coming of Jesus. That's what they call him, the second coming of Jesus. But this is what I'm telling you about the Republican Party. But I want you to know that the Democratic Party are demons as well. Demons as well, yes. Demons, evil people as well. They are not in the room that Trump is in, even though Trump is in this closer to this house. But those guys are going crazy. They hate. I mean, they're really filled with evil. But you know what? We can't get too upset with Donald Trump in the Republican Party because they weren't born that way. They were raised that way. They were raised that way by their parents. They were raised that way by the environment that they associated themselves with. They learned this stuff from the little private circles that they moved in. They learned this way from that little church that they would go to that they want black folks in. These are the people who had very little love, but a lot of hate taught to them. Now, when I talk about the Democratic Party, they went through the same thing. They didn't go through as much hard hating as the Republicans. And I'm not talking about what Abraham Lincoln started. I'm talking about today. Democrats were taught hate just like Republicans. They just didn't get that hardcore stuff. They just didn't get the hardcore stuff. So I don't want you to think I'm calling Donald Trump and his people demons and trying to say that the Democrats and Biden, these guys are okay. No, I'm just saying they are better than Trump. That's all I'm saying. But as far as being better for the people that's suffering, people who are going through pain, people who need help, they're no better than the Trumpers. Why? Because these people still exist. This is what identifies we, all of us, as demonic people. Because it's okay for us. We accept people suffering. We accept people not having access to life. Not just Trump. We Democrats who are over here trying to say we trying to make sure people get a little relief here, a little relief there. Yes, you're trying to do that. That makes you better than Donald Trump. But the pain and suffering that's left after you've done that makes you no different than Donald Trump. And this is you doing your thing, which is ungodly, him doing their thing, which is ungodly, Russia doing their thing, everybody doing their thing ungodly. Because the godly thing is peace. The godly thing is prosperity and freedom and joy and happiness. The godly thing is we as human beings living our dreams on earth. All of the stuff necessary to fulfill that has been given to us by God. You got conservatives talking about it'll run out. It'll run out. See that's the way they think. They have no respect for God. It'll run out. So my friends, I thought I'd take this moment to tell you that Netanyahu over in Israel is trying to play God. And the people are empowering him. The Israeli people are empowering him to serve a demonic act on the Palestinian people. Now, I'm not saying the Palestinians are angels. I'm not saying the Palestinians are not devils. They're devils too. But they're not the kind of devils that the Israeli people are. You see, look at it like this. They say that the Palestinians went over there and they took 1,200 lives, which was evil as can be. And Israel, they would tell you that was evil. But it's not enough to stop them from being evil. They got over 30,000 lives. And talking about that not going to stop. See, that's big devil. Big devil. Big devil. And you know what? They call themselves attached to God. God chosen people. Oh, now everybody in the world can see that's BS. Straight up BS. Nobody is God's people outside of everybody being God's people. The question is, who amongst us have chosen God? And we just lie to ourselves and we lie to one another. Because God says anybody that chooses God's way will be hated by the people on this earth. You're not hating me. I've been talking trash and you ain't mad yet. And everybody else ain't thinking about no trash. They're just joining with you, trying to rip folks off. But God said, if we stood up for justice, if we stood up that your needs and your wants and your desires could be met at your leisure, if we stood up for that kind of righteousness, the devil, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, everybody would be jumping on our heads. And we would have to be buried or burned up somewhere because they will kill us. That is the ones that have chosen God. The rest of us ain't doing nothing but BSing. Let me say it again. The rest of us, I don't care who you are, we ain't doing nothing but BSing. I don't care how much scripture you know. I don't know how you know it backwards and dissected and in all kinds of ways. I don't care if your mind can take you back and take you to heaven with Jesus. I'm telling you right now, if you don't love, you from hell. What I mean by from hell, you have been brought up by that hellishness. And we don't know. But the purpose why we're still here is to learn. Why do you think when the tsunamis come, the storms come, why do you think they tear people's houses up? Because people say, I got my house, I don't have to worry about nobody else. Then they get the house torn away. Why do you think the rains come and take people's cars and other properties that they have put so much value in it and take across town, just floating, tearing it up, meaning it has no value whatsoever? Because people have put so much value in it. Look, my friends, it was made to have the value that it has for all of the people that got it. And that means the people that wants it. But we have decided that we want to make a distinction between them and us. We got, they don't. We somebody, they ain't. What else? Donald Trump is a man like you and I. He has no more power than us. Yet he's also under the authority of Satan. And he's empowered by white evangelicals and fundamentalists, right-wing Christian nationalists. And they themselves are just as Trump. They were taught this evil stuff, ladies and gentlemen. The only thing we have to do, if you disagree with it, is reject it. Don't go picking up some sticks and knives trying to say you're going to make somebody. You ain't going to make nobody be a darn thing. You tell them you're not going to obey. And you let the power of God's love be your motivation. And if they want to kill you, tell them to get busy. Who wants to live in this hell? Who wants to live in this hell? Everybody that's scared of God, everybody that doesn't know anything about heaven, they want to live in this hell. See what else? One might think that America has already sold out to the devil. Yeah, I say that because in this political thing in America, you got Donald Trump saying he's a candidate. But he's out there running around trying to interject his thoughts into the policies of America's government as it is in operation now. He's not even in government. He's just like you. He's just like me. But he out there telling the whole political party what to do. And they're listening to him. Justification. What I just got to telling you about. If you forgot it, rewind it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are evil. Even the best of us. And as long as there's pain and suffering on this earth, and people don't have jobs, as long as there are people that are homeless when they want to have a home, as long as there are people that's hungry, as long as there are people that's being denied education, being denied health care, being denied transportation, being denied the benefits of the things that have been created by we the people on this earth, as long as there are people who wants to engage themselves, enjoy themselves in this benefit, and they are being denied it, it is happening because this is hell. And no one here is lovingful enough to do anything about it. No one here is loving enough to do anything about it. Y'all talk about Jesus. For those of you who believe that Jesus was real, he died to let you know that was the way out of this hell. He died to let you know that this was the way out of the hell, but you didn't get that message. You told he suffered. You told he went through pain. When Meshach, and Abednego, those guys were ready to laugh on the fire furnace. They wasn't crying because they were righteous people. And if you were righteous, you'd know. You'd know. You know, you standing up for something that's right, and somebody gonna try to put you down. Tell them to go to hell. You ain't thinking about it. You ain't scared. But every last one of us scared to die. We'll die if somebody tell us to go and fight. Send you over to another land to fight. You'll do that. Why? Because you know they will punish you if you don't. And you don't want to get that punishment, so you'll take a chance on getting killed while you're killing, if you have to. But when you stand up for what's right, till next time, ladies and gentlemen.